clarify what the situation is for the team in terms of the wearing of the poppies tomorrow night?
Well, as I understand it, I think we're wearing armbands with a poppy on it. That's as far as I know.
Are you surprised it's become such a big issue over the week?
Yeah, in a way. In a way, I'm not speaking for the SFA, of course, but personally, I feel that we should honour the people that died during the wars. My own grandfather died in the Second World War, so from my point of view, it's straightforward.
In terms of the football, Craig, I don't suppose you're going to give us the team at this moment in time for tomorrow night's game, are you?
No, not yet. Not yet. We've got one or two players who haven't trained or haven't done a full training session this week, so I just want to get today's training session out the road, and we'll deal with it after that.
Who in particular is that? Who haven't trained?
Bardsley, Fletcher have both done little bits, but without doing a full training session, so they'll both train today. But they're fine. It's not an issue. They'll both be ready to play tomorrow. But just more of a precaution than anything else. They've been working with the physios, so they're happy for them to do a full training session today. David Goodwillie had a stomach bug, which has floored him a little bit the last couple of days. He's feeling better today, but again we'll need to wait and see how he is for tomorrow. So there's three players that I need to get through today's training session to see exactly where we are.
Given the fact you had to make a few changes at the start of the league, there's some new boys in this squad who've not been involved before. Do you still intend to play a full strength team, or do you now see this as a chance to experiment this game?
No, we want to win the game, so we'll do the best we can to win the match. Put out a team that aligns with that way of thinking. So, yeah, there's always an opportunity for experimenting, but not at the expense of winning the match.
Would you look to potentially maybe diverge from the system you've played in the last year, or maybe go to up?
No, I like. I'm comfortable with the system. I have said that I might do, going into the second half today, I might have a look at playing two strikers. We'll see how the game goes. Again, I don't want to experiment at the risk of throwing away any chance of winning the match. So it's a thought that's in my head. We're in a better position now, I think, with regard to strikers, with more strikers available. Certainly, Craig McHale-Smith proved in his last couple of games for us that he's an international class player and capable of playing at the highest level. So that's good. David Goodwillie's played some games for us. We've got Jordan Rhodes in the group, who, his record in England just now is fantastic. So just a young lad, but I feel he's another one who he's trained well, and I feel he'll be an international player as well. So we're getting a little bit more strength and depth in a number of areas in the field, but particularly in the striker area.
Do you see this, the quality of the opposition here as, why did you pick Cyprus first of all, in terms of what to expect from them?
It's the experience more than anything else I was looking at, trying to get some time training and getting to know the players and work with them and get some quality time on the training ground, and I've found that to be as beneficial as the games. So the game tied in quite well with being able to do some stuff in the training ground, and on top of that, it's another opportunity to test ourselves away from home. And I've watched the last 6 games that Cyprus have played, and I know there's changes and new coach and all that, but technically they're a very good side. Attack-minded side, and I see it as another opportunity for us to get the players together and see if we can get a positive outcome.
For you, in effect, Craig, is the Cyprus game the start of the 2014 campaign?
Yeah, the last one's finished, and again it's about looking at trying to strengthen the pool of players for September next year. We have this game, I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but I think we're going to Slovenia in February, and we're in Austria for a week at the end of the season. We will play one game in August, and then we will be into the qualifying campaign for the World Cup. The dates meeting, I think, is towards the end of November, so we'll have a better idea of who we're playing and when. And in the meantime, it's up to myself and the players to be 100% prepared for next September.
You've been talking about, well, there's 4 SPL players in this Scotland squad now with the inclusion of Stevenson and Samson. Can you really envisage a time in the not too distant future, Craig, where maybe none of the international squad are based in the SPL?
I think that's unlikely. I think you have to also remember that Naismith would have been included, Scott Brown would have been included, James Forrest would have been included, and the Old Firm will continue to be big supporters of the Scottish team and provide players for the Scottish team. And I think that the lack of money in Scottish football has also led to a lot of younger players getting opportunities to play on a regular basis in the SPL. And I see a time in the very near future where there are more players coming from the SPL.
Craig, you mentioned the future. The future, what does it hold for the squad for you? And Charlie Adams was quoted as saying, tough draw, but a good chance, nothing is impossible. How do you see that?
Charlie's a man of few words. The difference between our last qualifying campaign, we had Spain in the group, which effectively meant that one of the places was already taken because of the quality of that team. So the rest of us were fighting for that second spot. I believe that in this group, it's so wide open that there are 2 places available. Maybe Croatia might disagree with that being the top seeds, but I think Belgium will be looking, the way they've improved recently, they'll be looking to be involved in those 2. Serbia, I'm sure, will be. I mean, Wales' improvement in recent times has been quite dramatic, and I feel we've improved enormously as well. So the group is wide open. I defy anybody to say otherwise, and everybody in the group has the opportunity to take points off each other. So it is wide open. We need to keep improving. If we can do that, then I'm confident that we've got a very good chance.
And there's likely to be a large contingent of British military at the game. A number of those have either been to Afghanistan or come back from Afghanistan. Have you got a message for the guys out there? Yeah,
of course. I mean, they're just incredibly brave people, and I wish I had the same courage. They do a fantastic job, and obviously my own history, as I said earlier on, very much aligns me to be grateful to the people that serve their country.
I think you're glad that you're going to be wearing the poppies as well, so that's...
Yeah, I think we all are.
Can you give the new players settled in this week, the training and the general atmosphere?
Yeah, they've been good. I've been really pleased with them. I've watched Jordan Rhodes play a number of times, Ryan Stevenson and Gary McKenzie, and it's not until you actually get them inside and get working with them, talking to them, and watching them training with the other players that you get to appreciate, just what standard they are. And I can say the lads have been excellent. They really have been. So it's encouraging for me that we've got players who are on the fringes of things that I can bring in, and I'm not saying they're all going to play, but if they do get some game time, that adds to the experience that they've had in the training, and it makes it, in my mind, it makes it a little bit easier for me to choose them to play in a match if they were needed.
They've all spoken about their excitement as well, being involved, and Jordan Rhodes was saying he was in awe of some of the players he was sitting beside and training with. Is it good that you've got guys that come in and have that excitement, and does that rub off on them?
I would be extremely disappointed if they all weren't excited about getting called into the group. I still get excited coming along to the gatherings and working with the players. And I think Jordan Rhodes is a fantastic boy as well. Very down to earth and very mannerable and grateful. And I think any player who gets included at a young age in the international squad should be grateful, and they should show that just how he has done by their enthusiasm and their respect for the other players. So they've all been good. They've all been excellent so far, and maybe one day Jordan will be somebody, another young player comes into the squad and looks up to him. I believe he will.
Do you envisage trying to give him some game time, given he's playing Monday?
Yeah, I've said that already. Again, you can't promise anything. We have in the past had plans going into these games. You get 2 or 3 injuries early on, and that goes out the window. So I plan to at some point, but we'll see.
Craig, is Jelks going to play in goals? Is that something?
Another thing that I've thought about and spoken to Jim Stewart about, but not. I don't think he'll start the match. He hasn't had any game time yet, Matt, and he's had opportunities where he might have played. He's had injuries, so I'd like, if I can't promise anything, I'd like to give him some time on the field.
You've only got 3 players over 30 in the squad. Is that a sign of what you're trying to do, bring about
No, listen. If we had, if we had 20 players over 30 who are all playing at the top level, they'd be in the group. It's just I try to pick what I believe are the best players. If they're young players, then then they're in on merit, not on anything to do with age. So we're just about expanding the pool so that come next September we've got strength and depth right throughout the team.
And given what you were saying about the competitive nature of the group we're in for the World Cup, is it equally feasible that we could finish top as we could finish bottom?
I wouldn't like to think about that, to be honest with you. I feel that our improvement recently would make me feel very comfortable that we'll be closer to the first of those.
And the door remains open for James McFadden, obviously came back recently to the first
Yeah,
team.
he just needs to get playing again and playing on a regular basis, and there's a few players in that kind of category, and I will pick who I think is the best players at the time whenever the squads get announced.